There's a new model coming out very soon that many of you might have started hearing rumblings about or may have seen at shows. And it's one that surprised me. So many people seem to be in love with this kit, and it's not even out yet. All you've been able to do is see it at model shows and see the pictures on stores like on Jadlan. The kit I'm on about is a traction engine, and it's being sold by Scale X. It's a collaboration, so some independent designers made the kit, and Scale X are helping them, scale it and sell it. The kit is being made in 1/16th and 1/35th, so for you armour lovers out there, you'll be able to make one to go alongside all of your tanks and AFVs, which I think is probably going to be one of the more popular sizes for the kit. And I must say, it does look like a very intimidating model, but I have been assured it is not. And well, what I thought we'd do today is have a chat with the designers of this beautiful kit, and they'll talk about why they made this kit and, well, whether or not it's one that you'll want to build as well. So let's go and have a chat with the lovely designers, Dave and Amanda. Could you both just introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm basically just getting into this journey of freelance model design, but I've been kit building since I was 10, and my first model was an FX Spitfire, which I don't have anymore because I didn't survive, but yeah, I've been on this journey for a really long time now, and yeah, here we are with our first ever model release. Amanda.
I'm Amanda. I'm married to David here, and basically, well, he just drags me along for the ride mostly. But I started making models when I was about 17, when I spotted a kit on David's shelf and decided to give it a go, and got into the design because, well, it's just interesting stuff, really.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I would say that, you picked up that kit and you said, can I build this? And I was like, sure you can, thinking she's not going to build this. And then you absolutely sort of blew it out of the water, and it looks amazing. You've still got it as well, haven't you?
Oh,
yeah, it's still sat. It's an Airfix 76 scale Mark 1 tank, of all things.
Oh, like the Waddle one, the OG.
Old one, yeah, with the old fictitious paint scheme on the back, and she did a really good job. We've still got it.
I have some of them to do somewhere. I did one of them as a child, and I did not do a good job.
I always say you don't get on a piano and play a Mozart, though. That's the thing.
I'm like the slowest model maker in the world. I get too interested in the details.
Yeah, you go down those rabbit holes, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I rely on her. I'm not going to lie. I'm great at starting things, and she's great at finishing them. I think is probably the best way to sum it. So yeah, it's if ever there was a troubleshooter in this world, it's just that's
just a case of slogging through the hard parts. When it gets tough, I get involved.
Mm-hmm. I can't sit still for that long compared to you.
So the model that you're releasing is being released under Scale X. Could you just explain your relationship with Scale X?
So we're in a partnership. So effectively, we've basically said, you know what, it's a bit like, I always joke, it's a bit like writing a book and then being asked to write a series, and then you've got an editor and everything that involves. So yeah, we've got a really good working relationship with Scale X, and they just liked what our philosophy was and the fact that we went on to bigger things. I'd only approached them with an interest to printing the kit because I realised that if I printed it myself, I didn't want to make 500 kits in my kitchen.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. Resin is the most horrible stuff to work with.
Yeah.
You know, we did the prototype, and it's like one model's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Many more models, even 20. Complete nightmare. All the washing and the disposal of everything is just a nightmare. So and we're pretty pleased that Scale X decided to sort of pick it up. I mean, they were just so. I think they were just blown away by the design, and they're like, "This is brilliant."
I mean, they call it our crazy tractor for a little while, and I don't know whether they'd seen a traction engine before or not, but they just looked and went, "That is wild," and I think it totally grabbed their imagination, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because I'd done the prototype by that point. So the prototype I made this before we kind of got any, and this was sort of, and Amanda's the photographer out the two of us, but I took one bad blurry photo on the table and I sent it to them, and they were literally just ran off that and went, okay, yeah, we're gonna go for it.
Yeah, I took the photos with the white background. The first ones anybody ever saw online are actually sort of my photos from in here with the prototypes there.
They were markedly better than mine.
And I guess just for the benefit of anyone who doesn't know what a traction engine is, particularly like if they've never seen one before, could you just explain in simple terms what one is?
Yeah. So traction engines came before you had tractors.
They used to have these portable engines called portables, which is basically a small steam engine on the top of a boiler, and then the horses would tow them round. And then they realised that actually, why are we doing that when there's an engine on top of a boiler and we can make the engine drive the wheels? So you end up with these kind of very janky chain-driven they're not traction engines, they're kind of like portable engines that can sort of drag themselves to the field and back if you're lucky, and then that sort of evolved into the traction engine, and then you end up with an evolution where the piston engine took over, and that was sort of spelt the end of the traction engine, really.
Yeah, as soon as tractors start to come in, they did last. I mean, you were still seeing traction engines in the fields up until the 1940s, believe it or not. So some of them really did hang on in there for quite a long time, and they were big contractors that sort of had, because they were so expensive, they had one, and the farmer hired them out for various jobs, like for example threshing or ploughing. Ploughmans tend to come in pairs, so because they're so big and heavy, they don't go through a field. But this one, the one that we designed, that was actually used in the sort of logging sawmill industry. So that was used a lot for that. It might have been used for other things as well.
They are. The class that we've got coming out is very much a threshing machine, which is separating the grain from the straw. Pretty much, that's the sort of. And we are looking at accessories and sort of broadening that out at the moment.
Oh, so more to come already then.
Oh yes. We have a lot of plans. Many plans.
A lot's already been announced.
We're going to be very busy.
We can talk about a lot of it as well. Feel free.
Yeah. So the next big, so you're designing a trailer, you're in the later stages of that. And the next big thing is actually going to be a ploughman's pair of engines, which is quite a challenge. So there'll be like Fowler ploughing pair. But, that's going to be we're getting through the work, but
they're
there's a lot.
I mean, yeah, but the scans are done and I say design underway. Anyway, so there you go. That's traction engines in a nutshell.
Obviously, a traction engine is very different to what we have in most of scale modelling, which tends to be very military focused, and there is some civvy stuff, particularly sort of cars and the odd tractor. But what made you go for a traction engine of all things?
I saw those big Bandai, the old Bandai 70s kits. I mean, if you go to Telford, you'll see them on a shelf somewhere usually, and there's a Showman's and I think there's a Roller. And I always looked at them and thought, those are really cool. And actually, and Amanda's very into traction engines.
Yeah. I've always been quite big into steam. So until I was like in my mid-20s, I'd been on more steam engines than I had actual modern trains. And we always, as a child, I always used to go with my parents to the traction fairs. And there's just something about the smell of the steam and especially when they're working really hard, when you see them like next to the fairs, the ones that run the fairground rides, when they're really working, they're so noisy and it's all the moving parts. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, and I think to the market would, the world of model makers, I think that's an area that's not very much explored, and I think we're seeing, I think, overall a move to more agricultural models anyway. Just look at what Mini Art are doing and such like. And also, I always think, we're a bit cosseted in the UK because we're quite war-centric in the UK, whereas actually on the continent, there's a lot more civilian model making that's there. So I think there's a lot of potential, really.
I think there's a lot from the steam era, really, that just doesn't get covered at all. And I think it's a shame because it's also fascinating, it's really interesting stuff.
Yeah, ScaleX really want to move into that area, like with quite a lot. I think I almost feel like they were looking for somewhere where they could really shine in the model making area, and they have embraced steam wholeheartedly. I think that's very very nice surprise to us, though, really.
Yeah, they sort of started in accessories, and they were actually looking for people to build kits. So we kind of came along and landed in their lap, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
And they already work in 16th. So 16th is that they do a lot of Ukrainian UAV vehicles, and they're 16th scale. So they had quite an ambition for movies. And we just happened to do one in the scale that they loved as well. So
Yeah, it was lucky, really.
it really was, yeah.
I know the one you've made is based on a real life version from what I did, the bit of research I did beforehand, like a real life still running one, if I read it correctly. What made you go for this particular, I don't know if you call it a version or particular object?
I mean, a couple of things.
Yeah, I mean, part of it, there's a sort of practical side where it was actually quite a good size. Burrells are one of the more popular sort of makes as well, because actually there were all sorts of very odd and unique makes at the time, but only a few were made in any number, and Burrells are one of those. And this is actually an earlier type of Burrell. It's based off the prototype that they call like the Devonshire prototype. So it is an earlier sort of one, right in 1901. So really sort of the beginnings, really. So that's kind of interesting.
I mean, that and the owner said yes, which is always a benefit. Because
Well,
I'm like, can I just climb all over your engine for a wee while and just get all this scan data? So they were obliging.
Yeah.
And also the thing that struck me was they were very, very. It was restored very much to what it was like when it was running. So they'd been very meticulous with their stripes and their details, and to be fair, if you want an easy shot, I think not having to go and like retro convert, and you get this with aircraft, as you probably know, you're having to sit there and go, okay, well that was added later. So this one had been lovingly restored to sort of an as sort of factory running condition. And that was a huge benefit. And I thought the colours were really cool as well, because it's Burrell green and brown wheels, and I like that.
Yeah, it's the classic.
So I was going to ask about sort of the research that went into it, but from the sounds of it was pretty much you saw it in person. You referenced sort of the scan data. So did you sort of do a full 3D scan of?
Broadly, yeah. I've got an app. Basically the whole thing is based off scan data from end to end. So there's a couple of ways you can do this, but especially Burrells are very notorious for not following drawings. Now, that drawings are fraught, so you model off drawings, you will always get a representation based. It's the same with ships. They have ships drawings, but especially wooden ones, they're never the shape that they were drawn realistically. But you don't get the advantage of being able to scan these old things.
In drawings, you've got to be really careful, because a lot of the times, because of course there's the working models as well, like the 2-inch scale and the 4-inch and the 6-inch scale. And if you're building a model based off a model, then they've already simplified things as well. So actually going right to the full-size real thing is the best thing you can do, because it's there, it's got everything that you need. And also, for weathering detail and everything else, you just can't match that with the real thing, because it's been working. It goes to all the shows, and as I say, we see it every year, don't we?
Yeah, and it was sat steaming up, and I copied every oil can, I copied the shovel. Everything that was in that thing in position, I basically just everything you needed to make a model of a traction engine as it is running in that very second is in the model, and that's kind of something. So there's a little oil can on the shelf. There's a bigger oil one on the floor. There's some on the shelf towards the front. So and it comes with its little shovel, which is kind of cute.
And you're doing this in 2 scales. If I'm 32nd, is it?
35th. 35th, so like armor scale.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are looking forward to that, with the 35th coming out as well.
So yeah, this one's pre-order at $299 on Jadlam at the moment, and this one I'm not going to commit 100% to the price because I can't, but I would say plus or minus the £80-ish mark, and I won't. don't hold me on that solidly, but we're definitely sub 100 quid.
See, this one was much more fun to work out because it is so tiny and so fine. You kind of see.
We can go up to the camera, can't we? Yeah. We've got wire work and on the top, so it's coming with 0.4mm spring steel pieces, so you can replicate the rods on the top. When you see a lot of these 35th engines that people have made these in very small runs, but they're always limited by sort of like the complexity. I've basically taken the 16th kit and we've seen what works and kept it.
And I think actually resin here really has an advantage over your sort of plastic kits, because you can, at 35th, if you were doing injection molding, you just couldn't do that detail. And I notice a lot of model companies are doing that now. They're doing the mix between the resin detail, which you get that really fine detail, and the sort of injection molding, which obviously, if you're doing bigger runs, is cheaper overall. Comparatively, we're learning a lot about all of this as well.
Yeah,
it's more complicated than you think.
It is. Yeah, the business side is fascinating. Absolutely.
I guess for those who haven't made a 3D printed model before, and for some people may have never even used traditional resin, because I know most people didn't like those sorts of kits, although I've done 2 now, I think. And it's obviously very different. If someone is used to sort of a traditional like plastic model kit, how different is it for them to build this kit in comparison?
I mean, there's a lot of analogies that are the same. So instead of coming on sprues, you're looking at lots of teeny little stick supports. Now, what I would say about Scalex is that's where they definitely have the nose on a lot of others, insofar as they really do optimize those to make them as easy to remove as physically possible. So most of them are designed to break clean, so you don't need to snip. And again, we've designed the model part breakdown so that a lot of that support is hidden out the way, which is really important. But yeah, realistically, you're using different glues, because your traditional plastic glues won't cut it. It'll just fall apart.
Glue won't do anything.
But you can use super glues, and epoxies are sort of your go-to. I have a 10-minute and a long-setting epoxy, and then some good cyanoacrylate, so super glue. But if I'm honest, I have actually in more recent years gotten I use bog standard contact adhesive is holding up there. That's the shovel. But yeah, bog standard contact adhesive is actually holding most of this together, because I actually
it survived the show pretty well. So, it was picked up millions of times.
But it is optimized. It is optimized to be paintable. So everything is modular, and Scalex are doing a wonderful job of the instructions at the moment, where they're actually showing the paint stages next in parallel with the build stages, which is something I've never seen before.
Cool, actually, it's pretty awesome. I like it. It's really good.
Yeah, it kind of basically suggests. The instructions implicitly sort of imply that you'd be best painting it as you go along, but at the same time, every modeler can do what the heck they want, really. But people did look at it and go, "I could never paint that." Well, I was like, "Well, no, built together like that, you really couldn't." But it isn't one piece; it's 100 pieces, or just under.
You've kind of designed it. Because we have spent so long making models, we kind of thought about it and thought, what would I find the best way to do it, or what would I find difficult?
What would drive me to despair if I had to, I mean, silly decisions like deciding whether or not the wheels should be separate spokes, and in the end, there's so you're just going through the logic decision of what's convenient to paint, and that's brush paint and airbrush. I think you could do a really good job with some, the old Humbrol enamels that are nice and shiny when you paint them. I genuinely think you could make an amazing job putting that together the old traditional way if you really were so inclined.
And with the 2 different scales, what sort of the differences or what compromises, if any, have you had to make between the 2 sort of scales?
There are some compromises. I have gone as little as absolutely possible, and even Scalex at one point were like, "Are you sure you don't need to simplify that?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." What I have done is
it's fewer parts.
It is fewer parts.
So some bits work better as sort of grouped together.
Yeah.
So because obviously as it gets smaller, David did actually put that together using his fingers to make sure, you don't want to be using a magnifying glass and tweezers to be doing it all, because it drives you mad.
Yeah. So, I mean, the firebox is one piece. And what I've done is that down in the very depths at the bottom there are tiny little greaser pots, and I didn't want to delete them, and you'd never get them in with tweezers. So I've fed them in the traditional way you'd expect in an injection molded kit. There are a few more sneaky little supports. The rods are thickened up slightly in places, but honestly you couldn't tell, and that's the secret to it, isn't it? It's you know, any 35th kit, tank or otherwise, it's got stuff that's been chunkified.
I think that's the most difficult bit, really, deciding what you're gonna scale up, what you're gonna go, okay, that just doesn't work, it's gonna have to go. And the hardest thing about traction engine is because they've got all the workings right at the top, it kind of looks wrong if you don't have them.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's probably the biggest challenge is all this top handling.
I wanted everything to be up top. That was I didn't want to cut a corner where at all possible.
Yeah.
There is one tiny little wire linkage to the grease box that would be about 0.05 millimeters wide in scale, and I was like, there's a point, and somebody somewhere will be able to put that back in. I've left stuff there if you want to, but honestly, it's so unnoticeable, really. It's I mean, the busyness even on the 35th just catches your eye. I'm quite smug with it. I'm not going to lie. It came out really well.
I'm going to say it's pretty awesome.
Because we did the 16th, and they were like, "Can you do this in 35th?" And I'm like, "Well, give me a few weeks, and we'll do some experiments, and see how it goes." And we've been surprised with what you can get away with, actually.
Are there any particular? It doesn't necessarily have to be the most detailed bit, but is there anything that you're just really proud of on the model, like a single bit that you thought, "Oh, that just came out exactly how I wanted"?
We have a different one. Which is your favourite bit, Amanda, or do you have a?
My favourite bit. I really like the little hand wheels.
Oh yeah, this is not going to come across well on camera. I mean, on the sale page you see it, but in the let's go for the camera that focuses a bit short. There's teeny tiny little valve handles in there, and they're in situ.
And to be honest with you, the Burrell logo on the side is pretty good.
So
it really brings it. I think it's focusing on me at the moment.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we got the Burrell. Yeah, that's all raised text. That's quite cool. I mean, my favourite is actually what I call the water hose. Because
you had so much fun.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe how many times you had to redesign that a few different times because it was a complete nightmare.
Yeah, it's spiral wound all the way around, and I wanted something that hung gravity natural. I didn't want that false sort of AutoCAD look, and so basically I had to actually do some serious googling to work out how to get a wire wound to actually stick like that, and then once you've designed it in a 3D space, it can look perfect, but you need to actually get it so it's effectively perfectly hollow inside, otherwise it won't print properly. So there's a lot of procedure went into that, and I think that took me at least 5 working days in the end, just that one hose. Now it'd be a lot quicker.
It was emotional.
Yeah, I think
that was definitely the most emotional part of the whole thing. I think.
That was ridiculous.
Although then again, some of the compound curves, you think, a nice smooth curve.
Yeah,
that's easy enough. No.
How hard can it be?
No, how many times does it twist and turn? No, it gets even worse every time.
That's it. So yeah,
I was looking at the pictures as you were talking about it, so I could see what you're on about, and I understand that it's incredibly detailed as a model. Like, even for other 3D printed things I've seen, you can tell there's a lot of love that's gone into it.
That sale page is not a render. We had that a lot. They're like, "Oh, those are renders," and I'm like, no, those are photos of the actual kit. They do put our little prototype to shame, does the actual kit, because we've done that at home in our kitchen on a cheaper printer, cleaning it all by hand, and then ScaleX have got the proper printers with the decent resin. They call it 8K resin. I'm honestly not sure what that means. I'm gonna be honest, but it's really good stuff.
We've got Brian as well.
Oh yeah,
because it had to come with a figure.
Where's the figure gone? You're gonna have to go.
Where Brian's gone? I called him Brian.
Yeah, he's codenamed Brian.
He became Brian.
Yeah, the figure is Amanda's sculpt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wanted a figure, and so Amanda basically discovered that you've got more of a knack for it than we realised, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. my sculpts look like Morph out of. Do you remember Morph many years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amanda's got a go.
Yeah, it was my first proper go at sort of the figure sculpting, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you've painted a lot of figures. Amanda's quite a good figurine painter, I will say that.
I mean, it does help because we sort of make our own clothes. So I make, the clothes we're wearing now are all homemade.
Yeah, we do a lot of sewing.
So actually, understanding fabric does help a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
And faces. Faces are hard. So we've made sure it's period correct. Well, I say that Amanda's made sure it's period correct.
Yeah, you had to look right.
Yeah.
It's really nice that it does come with the figure, because I guess it's like with aircraft coming with pilots, and quite often they don't. And I think it really does add a lot of realism to it. And for your figure in particular, it's got a really nice natural pose to it as well, which I think it almost looks like it's in a painting in itself.
Well, the thing is, I've got him. So he's actually, I don't know if
can't
most people don't even notice. I've actually got his pocket watch. The chain goes over his fingers.
He's fidgeting with it. You can't.
So he's actually messing with it, and he's kind of got his fingers like this. Now that was a nightmare to do, because getting anything to interact. Because as soon as you move the hand, the arm goes, the shoulder goes, everything moves, and it's actually a real nightmare to get it right.
But you nailed it.
Yeah. After a few goes, it was a few goes as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, oh no.
There is literally about 7 or 8 Brians lying in a row on the model board.
Graveyard.
It does look like that, yeah. I was like, it looks kind of funny. It's like abandoned shop dummies in miniature. We're like, okay, we've got all of these like development
full
models.
Brians, there's half Brians, they're everywhere.
I kind of don't want to throw them away, but I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do with these Brians. It's like they're everywhere, but
yeah.
No, it was quite. I mean, also next time you do a figure, it's going to be so much more streamlined anyway.
Oh yeah, I learned so. I mean, I think we both did really learn so much from the process of this, because we kind of went through a bit of everything, right down to the sort of right down to the decals and the. I mean, we sort of started with the instructions, but I say Scalex have their own style, so they're sort of completing that.
And they're better than.
But actually, the whole workflow it's surprisingly complicated and takes. Because you think the model is the thing, but actually there's so many things around that as well.
Relating to what you said there, I think, and you sort of mentioned earlier as well, when you made the smaller one, you put it together by hand to make sure it was all doable. So it sounds like it should be a fairly approachable model, even if people haven't done a subject like this before. Because from an outsider who doesn't do anything like this, it looks so intricate and full of detail that it looks quite overwhelming, almost like, oh, could I even do that? But then I've seen you kind of holding it and just being like quite blasé.
It does go together really well. I was really surprised at how well it just, like, certain bits just slot in. It's quite satisfying, and there are a few bits like sort of the chain design. There were a few sort of bits to work out what was the best way to do it, actually for building. And
it goes in right at the very end, because I was like, I wouldn't want that in the way while I'm making the model, so I've kind of designed it to slot in, and then it just glues onto the bottom of the axle. And that was about 4 iterations in. We were like, we really refined that to make that work.
I think it goes together better than somewhat like plastic kits, to be honest.
I'm honest, yeah. If I'm honest, yeah. There's no filler on that, not a drop.
It does go together really well. There wasn't, like older anybody who's done like older resin kits will know that it's like take the casting block off, it's filing, it's fettling.
Yeah.
This is nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that. It's like a totally different.
I mean, Scalex were like, we're surprised. I mean, I think their test designer, they ran through about 4 bills, and they said, from end to end, about 4 hours. Just if you just got the kit and you're taking it off the support and you're literally just assembling it. For the big one, they were like 4 hours, and that's not very long.
I think that's not knowing how it goes together as well, because they kind of had our rough instructions on how it went together, but there are a few bits. So obviously, with a full instruction set with all the painting guides and everything else like that, be pretty good. I know they have got somebody doing the build, aren't they? Because they're going to do a video.
They're filming the build as well, so
there is going to be one coming at some point in the future.
The other thing is, I made a friend of mine is an that's blurry. Yeah, a friend of mine's
doesn't want to focus.
No, never mind. A friend of mine's likes modelling abandonment stuff. So actually, for him especially, I was like, okay, I want an empty coal bunker with all the detail on the inside. So if you want to do it like it's been sat in the field for 50, 60, whatever, however many years, and you want to do a really nice rusty one, I think
I'm quite looking forward to somebody doing
that. I know,
that.
yeah, we've got somebody queued up who's interested. So yeah, I think
what I want to see is I'm really hoping that that somebody builds one for Telford.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
I really hope, but yeah, we'll see.
So that is Sully. Yeah, we can talk about Sully, can't we?
Yeah, we can.
Amanda knows Sully personally.
Yes,
so
I do.
He's a friend of yours.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say hopeful that we can get something sorted there, because I think he'll do a brilliant job.
Yeah.
I know he really wants to do one.
I don't know why I was keeping him anonymous, to be honest. He's a YouTuber. We can say his name. It's fine.
Yeah, he really wants you to say his name.
Obviously, he introduced me to you guys.
Yes.
Even at the show, he was speaking to me about wanting to do an abandoned one.
Yeah.
Before I'd even seen it, he was just like, I can't wait to do that.
I can't remember, but I think I might have been talking to him, like in general, and I mentioned that we were doing the traction engine. He's like, oh, I've wanted to do a traction engine for a while.
Because
so it just seems to have sort of been the way.
Scary how
I say Sully does a really good job, but I do like his models. It's great.
I mean, it's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had friends come up to me. Friends go, oh yeah, there's somebody came up to me and said, oh, I really want to build that traction engine that's out at the moment or coming out. And one of my very good friends at work, it was said, oh, it's so nice to turn around and go, oh yeah, well, we know the people who designed it. And it's like some sort of like. So yeah, because
that's the thing. We're not really on any sort of social medias, things like that. It's the best way to be creative. Actually,
I'd never get
anything done. And,
that's true.
And yeah, so we just don't appear. So we've kind of popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, we have worked on other projects in the background.
I've seen David in the Netflix video.
You've seen me in before on other things, and I've done stuff is probably the best way to summarize it. I've done a little bit of resin accessory work. So I've not kind of come into this out of the blue either, but this is our sort of first, full. We're gonna kind of take the credit, Kit. Although obviously Scalex deserve the credit for actually teaming up with us and actually bringing it to fruition, because that would have been
there's
no way we could have done that on our own.
Yeah, I think we may have been able to do a sort of a shorter run, but sort of the scale, it's exciting. I do. I'm sort of keen to know exactly how many people really want to buy one, really, but we'll see. It's one of those.
I mean, from the show, there seemed to be a lot. I mean, when I was going around filming, you were so busy showing it to people, and it was really lovely to see like people having such interest and fascination with such an unusual subject. And it feels like, even when I've done reading about it, just more generally online, I've not really seen any negative comments. Everything's been very, even if it's like I'm not interested in this, but it's great that this is here. Has that been sort of the general experience you've had, the general vibe you've got when sort of displaying the kit?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement about it, because people do remember the Bandai kit, and obviously a lot because it's so unobtainable these days, really, unless you want to spend a lot of money. People are interested, because I don't know about you, but I love a good random different project to do, even if it's not usually my thing. It's like when the Revell bus came out, I got one of those because I'm like,
you move your head to one side.
It's hiding behind us. It's that kind of thing. Every so often you want to do something that's just different to what you normally do, and this is definitely it. I think
that's it. Yeah. Although I think I'll have to wait a few months before I try and build one myself, because I think I need to not look at it for a little while. You know how you get when you've built a kit and you're like, you've just, because I always find you don't get to a point with models. I don't know how you feel about this, Lexi, but you build a model and there's not this wonderful like cathartic ta-da moment. It kind of like you're gluing the last bits on, you put and then there's another bit, there's another bit, there's another bit, and then you finished it and you're like, okay, well that's done now. And I think it takes like about 3 months to fall back in love with it again. At least
I think everybody else that goes, oh wow, and then you're like, I know where that mistake is, that mistake is, that mistake is, and that mistake is, and it does take a while to sort of forget yourself.
Yeah. We're a bit giddy, I'm not gonna lie. It is quite exciting.
That's because it's fun.
It is so much fun. I mean, this is
that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Just have fun with stuff. It's this for us. This has been a bit like like a bit Alice in Wonderland. You kind of gone down the rabbit hole and you're trying to see how far it goes.
So you're Alice then, I take it.
Yeah. Of course.
Does that make me the rabbit?
I don't know. Depends.
So yeah. Oh yeah, I like a good waistcoat. I like to be overdressed because if you make your own clothes, that kind of gives you a license to. Yeah, there's a pocket watch hiding down there, but that does give you kind of I do like to overdress a little bit. I'm kind of well known for trotting. I do walk around in public like this. I'm not going to lie, but
that's what happens when you make your own clothes.
Yeah, you just like, you know what? Actually, the world's your oyster with sewing. Actually, it's quite fun. Because I was bored of not fitting into stuff. But that's another long conversation. We'll not go down. No, but yeah, to summarise up, I think. So excited for the kit coming out.
Yeah,
definitely. So pleased to be working with ScaleX.
Yeah, and hopefully much more to come.
Yes.
We'll see how we do.
And we'll have a
Fingers
standard
crossed.
Telford that's been not long sorted now, I think.
Yeah,
so we'll be there and we'll be showing, and hopefully we'll have plenty to show. We're looking at making sure models are built and such.
It's exciting. I will definitely see you at Telford as well then.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Thank you so much for both doing this interview with me. It was so lovely to speak to both of you. I did this video because a fellow creator mentioned that they saw this kit when we were at Geek Model World Live and thought, we should really talk about this. And I really just love being able to talk about and promote really cool models. So I'm glad I got the opportunity to do this. I really wish them the absolute best of success with this kit, because it really clearly is a passion project. It's fantastic. And hey, even I might try and build this at some point if I fancy doing something different. Whilst this is a 3D printed model kit, that is probably the future for a lot of them, but you shouldn't let it deter you. So if you want to build something a bit weird, a bit different, then go and check this out. I have no affiliation, I don't have any links or anything, but Jadlam have it on there at the moment, at least in the larger scale. The smaller scale will be coming out soon. As I said, the two prices kind of TBC at the moment. And go and show them some love. Go and tell people in forums and on comment pages and on Facebook that you just love this kit. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much to all of my to get to Advanced Kit. You all help make this possible. But a special shout out goes to my Advanced Kit Club members, including Taggers 365, Star Trek, Props and Models, Bobby G, Bob and Genevieve Albridge, David Barber, Jeff's Dioramas, the two longest subscribers at this tier, which is Explosive Water and Crazy Lucha, and someone who I met today, Daphne Doug. Thank you so much. Your support all means the absolute world to me. If you like what you've seen here today, make sure to subscribe to my channel to be kept up to date with the latest and greatest videos. And, well, there's a recommended video here just for you. Have a lovely day wherever you are. Bye, 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 bye.